10 real haunted houses across the United States. For some travelers, fall means foliage, apple cider, and pumpkin pie. But there are a few of us out there who are looking for something to really get our hearts racing. While kitschy haunted house attractions are fairly common in the US, some people want to experience real ghosts and ghouls around Halloween. In this video, we are going to discuss 10 real haunted houses across the United States. But before starting the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to never miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. Biltmore, Asheville, North Carolina. George Washington Vanderbilt EI built this stately vacation home in the 19th century. Since then, it has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted places in North Carolina and the country. While nothing completely nefarious has happened on the estate, the former owners of the house seem to remain very active in the afterlife. After Vanderbilt's death in 1914, his estate passed to his sons, who decided to open the house to the public. That's when the paranormal activity apparently began. Visitors have claimed to have heard the voice of a woman, possibly Vanderbilt's wife Edith, calling his name, and some say they have seen a few ghostly apparitions. The estate also features a series of hidden doors and hallways, adding to the overall scare factor of the house. Number 9. Franklin Castle, Cleveland, Ohio. This imposing Victorian home is considered the most haunted house in Ohio, and it's easy to see why. It was built in the 19th century by Hannes Tiedemann, known in Cleveland for being cruel and abusive. When a series of mysterious deaths in the Tiedemann family occurred in the house, those rumors crystallized. Among the many people who suddenly lost their lives in the house was Tiedemann's daughter Emma, who apparently died of complications with diabetes. Later, Tiedemann's mother and 3 of her other children died. Tiedemann's wife, Louise, also passed away, apparently due to liver failure, but many rumors circulated that Tiedemann was responsible. He is also rumored to have murdered other members of his family, including his niece, a possible illegitimate daughter, and her lover. Tiedemann moved out of the house shortly after his wife's death. Number 8. The Sallie House, Atchison, Kansas. If you like ghost hunting shows, you probably already know about this famous haunted house. This modest home in Kansas is rumored to be the dark lair of a demon who takes the form of a little girl, stemming from a family's strange experiences there. In the early 1990s, new tenants Debra and Tony Pickman claimed they saw strange occurrences in the house, including flickering lights, hauntings, possessions, unexplained voices, and strange scratches, marks, and burns on their bodies. These events appear to have been the work of the ghost of a young woman named Sally. Former tenants Bobby and Colleen Humbird, along with their daughter Heather, also claimed to have seen or heard Sally, who Heather claimed was her imaginary friend. Number 7. The White House, Washington, D.C. The White House may be the home of the president, but it's also rumored to house many illustrious ghosts within its historic walls. President Ronald Reagan reportedly entertained dinner guests with stories of his dog barking at unseen specters and his daughter Maureen waking up to a transparent figure peering out of the Lincoln bedroom window. It may have been President Lincoln himself, returning to his old home in hopes of reuniting with his wife and son. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill reportedly also encountered the ghost of Lincoln while getting out of his bathtub. Lincoln and his wife, Mary Todd, held seances at the White House, according to Mental Floss. They hoped to contact their son, Willie, who died of typhoid fever, presumably from contaminated water pumped into the White House. They never made contact with their son, but claimed to have contacted President Andrew Jackson, who was hanging around their old bedroom. Number 6. Witch Bell's Cave, Adams, Tennessee. In the early 19th century, John Bell purchased farmland along the Red River in Tennessee. Bell and his family thrived on the farm until they began seeing strange-looking animals around the property, most notably a rabbit-headed dog. From then on, the family was ambushed by unseen forces, largely targeting John and his daughter Betsy. They experienced physical attacks, heard unexplained noises, and even spoke to the entity. In at least one account, the spirit identified herself as the Bells' former neighbor, Kate Batts, who was seeking revenge from the afterlife for some unknown slight. The entity is rumored to have prevented Betsy's marriage to a local boy and is believed to have killed John. According to a Bell Witch website, The haunting is backed by a wealth of evidence, including eyewitness accounts, affidavits, and manuscripts written by those who experienced the haunting firsthand. Number 5. Villisca Axe Murder House, Villisca, Iowa. The small town of Villisca in Iowa, population around 1,108, doesn't have much to offer tourists except a night of terror at the Villisca Axe Murder House. In 1912, the white frame house was the site of a horrific crime that left an entire family, including 4 children and their 2 young friends, dead by an axe-wielding murderer. There were several suspects, including an Iowa state senator, but no one was charged with the bloody crime. Some 110 years later, the ghosts of the victims are said to linger in the house, yearning for justice. Visitors eager for a taste of the supernatural can book tours of the site, while the bravest can stay overnight and see what happens. Number 4. Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast, Fall River, Massachusetts. In 1892, Andrew and Abby Borden were found dead, killed by an axe-wielding psychopath. The police's number 1 suspect was Andrew's daughter, Lizzie. Lizzie was tried for the crimes and ultimately acquitted, but spent the rest of her life under the shadow of guilt. She is now said to haunt the Fall River, Massachusetts home where her father and stepmother were murdered, and her ghost can be heard laughing at the top of the stairs. The house also serves as a museum and bed and breakfast, equipped with ghost cameras, where hardcore guests can spend the night listening to Lizzie's ghost, the ghosts of her murdered parents, or the echoes of the maid's screams after finding Lizzie. The Bordens, dead in their beds. Number 3. Winchester Mystery House, San Jose, California. According to legend, this rambling Victorian mansion on a busy street in San Jose, California is haunted by the ghosts of everyone who has ever died by a Winchester rifle. That's certainly a lot of spirits. To appease them, the home's owner, Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester rifle fortune, and widow of the founder, kept adding rooms to the house to make more room for the dead. However, Winchester didn't just add rooms. He created a maze filled with corridors leading to dead ends, cut stairways, sloping floors, and a maze of rabbit chambers. According to ABC News, the house has 10,000 windows, 2,000 doors, 47 fireplaces, 40 stairs, 13 bathrooms, and 9 kitchens. After Sarah's death in 1922, the house organized tours for those who wish to walk among the ghosts of Winchester. Number 2. House of Death, New York City, New York. New York's Greenwich Village has some of the most desirable real estate in the world, save for a brownstone on West 10th Street. Known as the House of Death, the house is said to be haunted by the ghosts of 22 people who lived or died within its walls, including that of a 6-year-old girl who was murdered by her adoptive father. This is New York City, though, so the house has a celebrity pedigree too. Author Mark Twain stayed in the house in 1900, and his spirit reportedly returns for the occasional visit. Number 1. Whaley House Museum, San Diego, California. In 1852, James "Yankee Jim" Robinson was hanged by the neck for the crime of grand theft. A few years later, Thomas and Anna Whaley built a house on the spot where Robinson died, and soon the ghost of Yankee Jim appeared to haunt the place. It is said that his footsteps can be heard stomping around the house. Yankee Jim isn't the only specter, though. Both Mr. and Mrs. Whaley, a little girl, and even the family dog have been known to make appearances from beyond the grave. The house is so spooky that according to Time, the U.S. Department of Commerce officially classified the Whaley House as haunted in the 1960s. See the Whaley House Museum for yourself on a tour with ghosts and gravestones, which now also offers evening tours of the house for those who are really looking for thrills. Do you agree with our top 10 haunted houses list? Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. Stay safe, and we will be back soon with another video.